Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Monday, July 16th meeting of the Tuckahoe Village Board of Trustees. Will everyone please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the village clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Luisi.
Present.
Trustee Andino.
Present.
Trustee Lang.
Present.
Mayor Eklund.
I am pleased to be here tonight. I have one appointment to make tonight, and that is going to be the appointment of Zachary L. Leone to police officer effective July 30, 2018, with a 78-week probationary period commencing on the effective date, pending the approval of the Westchester County Department of Human Resources. Do I have a motion for this?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And I just want to thank all the applicants who applied for this position. We had quite a few, as we always do. And this is, as if the chief were here tonight, he would say this, so I'll say it on his behalf. It's one of the more difficult things to do, to actually have to choose one person from such a great pool of candidates. But we made that choice, and we're very pleased to have chosen Zachary. And we'll do a roll call.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And now, Zach, I'm going to ask you to come on up and take your oath of office. I'm trying to think which camera. Right there? Good. Okay. So if you please repeat after me. I. And your name.
Solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
And I will faithfully discharge
And I will faithfully discharge
the duties of police officer
the duties of police officer
in the village of Tuckahoe
in the Village of Tuckahoe
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Nice job.
Well, congratulations, Zach. You can say a couple of words. I know you've got a lot of family here too, and a lot of brothers and sisters in your police department.
First, I want to say thank you to you guys, the Village Board of Tuckahoe, as well as Chief Costanzo and the entire Tuckahoe Police Department for giving me this amazing opportunity. I look forward to protecting and serving the community that made me the man I am today. I want to thank my family for supporting me and guiding me to help me achieve this great honor. And lastly, I want to say that I will perform this job to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Thank you. We know you will. We're very, very proud of you, and we're really looking forward to getting your boots on the ground. So, Lieutenant, did you want to say a word or two?
Good evening, Mayor and Village Board of Trustees. On behalf of the Tuckahoe Police Department and Chief John Costanzo, I'd like to welcome Zach aboard. As we all know, Zach is a village resident, Tuckahoe High School graduate, also a John Jay graduate. We've known him for many years, and it's nice to see a resident of this village get hired as a police officer here. Zach was actually employed with us as a parking enforcement officer for 2 years, and also with the town of Eastchester. He did a great job and has a great work ethic. This past year, Zach took a position with the Westchester County Department of Probation, and they had nothing but great things to say about him. We even saw him at a couple of conferences, and he was right there as their spotlight employee. So we wish Zach the best of luck in his career as a police officer in the village, and congratulations to you and your family, Zach. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any of the board members wish to say a word or two?
Well, I'll say one quick. Well, I've known the Leone family for many, many years, and I've actually watched Zach grow up because he grew up with my son. So I commend you for. I know what it takes to get to this point. You know, to take the test, pass the test, so on and so on and so on. And as I said at the last appointment, you know, the career that you've undertaken is not the most popular career, and it's. But you're the guy for this job, and I wish you the best of luck. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I don't know the Leone family, but in meeting Zach during the interviews, I was really impressed with your emphasis on serving, which sometimes officers go into the job and they have a different view of what the job is, and you seem to have that as what was in the forefront of your mind, so I really appreciated that. So thank you and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I'd like to congratulate you as well, Zach. I just want to say, Mayor, it was tough. You know, there were a lot of great candidates, and I want to congratulate all of them. But Zachary, congratulations, and congratulations to your family as well.
Anybody else want to say a word or two? All right, well, if not, you know what, we're going to break for a minute or two. I know your family's not here to listen to this boring agenda, so I hope they take you out for an ice cream or something tonight. So, so thank you very much. Okay,
Congratulations.
we'll take a couple of minute break. First is the public hearing to consider a proposed local law creating a do not knock registry. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second. In favor.
No.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Okay, this public hearing is open, and I'm going to ask our village attorney, as we do for all public hearings, if he would just tell us a little bit about what we're doing here, because he can explain it a lot better, or maybe David might.
This is a local law allowing the village to set up a no-knock registry, as simple as that, where if the village board approves any type of solicitation, obviously things like Verizon or Altice, solar panels, any of the commercial solicitation, this allows the village residents to sign up this no-knock registry. When the permit is issued through the clerk's office, so we'll provide that group this list, and they are prohibited from knocking on those doors. This will hopefully kind of spur, another benefit of this law is if no permit is provided, commercial entities are out there knocking on doors and someone is on this list, it'll spur them to call the police department to stop some of this solicitation that shouldn't be happening. This does not stop some of the religious nonprofit groups that are exempt from this law that can't be stopped. However, I think it's a good thing if people just want to stop having some of this stuff, people knock on their doors. So this is as simple as that. And we'll have something, we're trying to work with the website company to have this automatically run on our website. So hopefully, if this is passed today, we'll make sure that's in the next couple of weeks.
And it's also legislation that was adopted by the town within the last year.
Several
So,
Westchester
yeah.
communities, absolutely.
So I kind of felt that it was important because people don't necessarily know, you know, if you're on Maple Avenue, is this house Eastchester and that Tuckahoe? So I think some of these issues are important that they're similar. Anybody from the public wish to speak on the Do Not Knock registry? And any of the board members?
I just want to clarify this for our residents. It is their responsibility to sign up for this. Okay. And that will be they will be able to do that through the website.
Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, if the law is passed tonight, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll get our website company
Okay.
to have a form you can just fill out right on the website.
Great.
It's easy as that.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And the next public hearing is number 2, public hearing to consider a proposed local law amending the zoning code of the Village of Tuckahoe to exclude living space in the basement from the floor area ratio, which is always commonly known as FAR. Do I have a motion to open this public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor?
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Okay, this public hearing is now open, and this is something we've been talking about for probably a year or more now, so I'm going to let our village attorney, Gary Gertzen, kind of bring us up to speed.
Sure, I know
on
I've
it.
mentioned this a couple times in the past on this one. So right now, what happens is a finished basement count in a one-family house counts towards the FAR. With this law, it would exclude the finished basement from the FAR. I know this went to the planning board and the zoning board for their comments. The concern was, I think from everybody, was that they were concerned that they could build a bigger house. So if you exclude the basement from the FAR, and it's a finished basement, I could just build upwards. But Mr. Williams gave a very nice presentation on both planning and zoning, I think on the work session, that wouldn't happen because of the setback laws. So that doesn't change the setback rules. So that you're still gonna have to build within that footprint. So what this will do is, if somebody wants to finish their basement, one-family house, they would have to go to the zoning board and get relief of this current law. That would exclude that step now, so they wouldn't have to go to the zoning board to finish their basement. They would still need to follow all the necessary permits with Mr. Williams, and then he would have to do his inspections. It also does not legalize an illegal basement.
That was
They
going to
would-
be my next question,
Right.
yeah, because I know
So-
that's a big question a lot of people ask, yeah.
So they would still have to come in, they would probably have to pay an administrative fee, and then legalize it through permits. So it really, in essence, what it will do is it will avoid the step of going to the zoning board seeking a variance for relief of this section, so.
Okay. Bill, did you want to add anything to that, or building inspector's with us tonight, so? Yeah, I know we have talked about it for quite a bit. Is there anybody from the public who would like to speak on this? Anybody from the village board? I know we kind of,
Again, I guess another clarification for residents. Once they do improve their basement, they're now at the mercy of and I shouldn't say it that way, but now the tax assessor will now come knocking on that door, correct? Because now they have a
That would,
finished basement.
that would be correct, because now you've improved your home, you've
Mm-hmm.
improved the value of your home, which in turn leads to higher taxes. So those, I believe the permits go up to the assessor when people improve their homes.
Okay.
and
Thank
it's
you.
funny, I mentioned at our work session years ago, my wife and I did a big renovation on our house, and I couldn't believe it when the building department came and did the final sign-off on the last bit of work and issued us our CO. I was at work, and that afternoon, my wife calls me, and she said, there's a guy here from the town of Eastchester. That same day, the assessor was there. So, I don't know, maybe he was just in the neighborhood, but I was like, wow, they don't miss a step around here. So, but you're absolutely right about that. That's for sure. Anybody else wish to speak on this? Okay, so with that, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
And Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And our last public hearing tonight is number 3, public hearing to consider a proposed local law authorizing the board to adopt a budget for fiscal year commencing June 1, 2019 that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the amount otherwise prescribed in the general municipal law, section 3-C. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
In favor, and this is pretty simple, so I'll talk about this. Every year we do this. What we're doing tonight is we're actually passing a law that, in essence, says that the village board next year could override the 2% tax cap. Now, of course, we never have any intentions of overriding the tax cap, but the issue is that when the tax cap was implemented, there was a requirement that a school district or a village board would be required to pass a local law in order to exceed it. And the reason why we do this now is in case there is some catastrophic issue that occurs between now and when the budget is adopted, or actually right at the point when the budget is going to be adopted. So this year, I'll give you an example. We adopted a budget that was under the tax cap, And the very first item on our agenda the night we adopted the budget was to repeal the local law that we are similar to what we're passing tonight, if it passes tonight. So it's basically just sort of a safety measure that we take, an accounting safety measure. Is there anybody from the public who would like to speak on this? Any of the board members? Okay.
I think I'd just like to clarify, it doesn't mean that we will go above the cap. It just means that we would have the ability to do so if necessary.
That's correct.
Because I know some people were texting me, emailing me
Oh, wow,
about
okay.
this.
Well, that's good, that's good. I'm glad they're paying attention. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. That's going to bring us to adoption of minutes. The approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting of June 11, 2018. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. The next is approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting of June 25, 2018. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And that will bring us to the first opportunity for the public to address the board on anything that's on our agenda tonight. Anything at all? And, yes, sir. If you just tell us your name and the mic is
First
yours.
off, good evening, everybody. My
Good
name is
evening.
Max Pierce. I'm a Tuckahoe resident. I've been living here for about 16 years now. That is my grandmother right there, as I'm sure you
We all know lovely Billups. Hello, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
I am here to propose a tournament that was, and the idea was recommended to me by Kayvon Reed, right here in the white shirt. I am the co-founder of the Finance Organization, and that is my other co-founder right there, Derek Ansa. But basically, we are proposing a tournament in honor of the renovations of the new park that will basically bring community engagement as well as enhance the community involvement. During the past years, it's kind of died down a little bit in terms of people in the local area coming to that park. But I think that this renovation is bringing back a lot of people. And so we kind of want to do something in honor of that. So our structure is basically, so first, the date that we're looking for is August 11th and 12th. It's going to be a 2-day event. And it will include 3 different age brackets or divisions. We're going to have what we would like to have a middle school bracket, a high school bracket, as well as an unlimited bracket. And by unlimited, we basically mean anything post-high school. For the teams, we would like to have 4 teams in each bracket. And we would like to select teams from local high schools and middle schools. And then for the unlimited bracket, we can just appoint certain people to create their own teams. But as far as the high school and middle schools, we'd like to have Tuckahoe High School in there, Eastchester High School, and then we're still trying to decide on the last 2 schools. Let's see, we've been meeting with Omira for the past 2 or 3 weeks, just going back and forth on the details and logistics of the event. We would like to have t-shirts made for all of the participants in the tournament, and that will cover a huge chunk of the budget. And then as far as equipment that we would need sanitation from the DPW, let's see, a sound system, 1 or 2 tables, just so that we could have the shot clock and the scoreboard on that table. And then we're looking to have some vendors in that can basically cover the gap from the money that we make off of the registration fees per team. So we're looking to have each team pay a registration fee of $300 per team, and that would allow them to have 10 players on each team. But with 12 teams, that would give us back $3,600, and our total budget is in between $4,000 and $5,000, so about $4,400, give or take. And so that gap between the 3,600 and the 4,400, we're looking to cover via the vendor fee. So we would just charge the vendors either $200 or $250. They could come and sell whatever it is that they're looking to sell, whether that's food, drink, their clothing, whatever the case may be. And as far as a rain date, there's no rain location because this is in honor of that park, so we're not going to move it
Right.
somewhere else. But we're looking to have the rain date as August 25th and the 26th. There will be referees, so this will not be some type of just pickup tournament. This will be an official type of thing. Let's see, am I missing anything else?
You want to talk about the name? What you're
Yes.
calling it?
How could I forget that? The name of the tournament is the Tuckahoe Summer Classic.
Tuckahoops.
Tuckahoe.
Yeah, I like that.
Very
Okay.
cool.
That's cool.
Tuckahoe.
And so they're hoping to, if I could add, Max, they're hoping to have this every summer, hopefully, to have something for the kids to look forward to and something that will organize them in a way that keeps them active and work on their team building and community involvement. So I really want to commend these gentlemen who contacted me and said, can the village help? And I spoke to the board, and the board was 150% on board with it. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, we're excited. And you should be very proud of your grandson. Lovely.
Come on. Come on. Go ahead.
Derek wants to say a few
I just want to add a couple things.
Sure.
Initially we thought about, my name is Derek Ansa.
Okay, Derek.
We just wanted to add a couple things. Initially we thought about whether we wanted to make a profit off this or whether it was, kind of something for the community. As long as we can break even, I think that's kind of the goal here. We don't want to lose any money. We don't really care if we make any money. It's really for the community. And if we do make a profit, we're electing to have that money go to ECAP.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, we've done a program or an event with them before, and it was really successful. It was really good, and we feel like Max was a part of it, and Tuckahoe High School. So we think it'd be a generous thing, and we'd love to give back to the community if we can. So that's all I wanted to add. I think everything else is we can probably send you an official email with the notes and everything, and with the budget and the outline of everything.
Yeah, Trustee Andino, she filled us in pretty good on Thursday. We had a conversation about, we're going to make sure the DPW supports the items that you needed. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you very much for coming here. You did a great presentation. I'm glad that you chose to kind of spotlight and highlight the park. It's a beautiful park. Did a lot of great renovations. So if you get people from outside of our community, of course, people in our community, they pass it every day. So to have people from outside come in and say, wow, this is a really nice place. So happy about that. Thank you.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'm going to say that from the way you've laid this out, I'm guaranteeing you that next year it's going to be off the charts.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that right now. And I just have one more question: LeBron or Jordan? I'm only kidding. Only kidding. All right. Okay.
All right, thank you guys so much.
All right,
Thank you.
take
Appreciate
care.
it.
Grandma starts the applause.
Yes. Anybody else from the public wish to talk about anything on our agenda? All right, so I'm going to move into resolutions, and the first is Resolution Number 1, authorizing the adoption of a proposed local law creating a do not knock registry. Do I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And we talked about it at length before.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution Number 2 is authorizing the adoption of a proposed local law amending the zoning code of the Village of Tuckahoe to exclude living space in the basement from the floor area ratio known as FAR. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And I actually just want to thank former trustee Steve Alfasi, because I know that he started this off and put a lot of work into it back then.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution Number 3, authorizing the adoption of a proposed local law authorizing the board to adopt a budget for the fiscal year commencing June 1, 2019 that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the amount otherwise prescribed in General Municipal Law, pardon me, Section 3-C. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And resolution number 4 is authorizing the use of Van Dusen Place on Saturday, September 8th for the Emmanuel AME Church Community Street Fair from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And resolution number 5 is authorizing the use of the Lake Avenue parking lot on Saturday, October 13th, with a rain date of October 14th, for the Growlers Oktoberfest from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. in accordance with rules and regulations by the Village of Tuckahoe. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second. 9 a.m., huh?
9 to
Yeah,
11.
actually, I was going to ask Joe, did you want to come up and just talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, please. It's
We have-
starting early.
What kind of drinking is going on there?
Good evening. I am one of the new partners over at Growlers Beer Bistro at the Lake Avenue parking lot. 9 a.m. is really just a formality as far as being able to get set up and
Right, we're not going to have guys drinking in the parking lot at 9 a.m.
no, we're not starting festivities.
Appreciate that.
It's more about parking, traffic control and parking.
The cops will have their hands full by 3.
Are you kidding? By 11?
Yeah, but it's again, it's just a formality. Actually, festivities would probably start around noon and commence to a reasonable time. I think they talked about 10 p.m. in the past to wrap things up and get things over with.
One of the things, we talked about this at our work session, that's what we do in order to put items on the agenda. In the past, there is a few residents in the tall building next to you, so we just wanted to make sure that you were going to give them ample notice ahead of time of when your event is. Did you have any plans for that, or did the chief talk to you about that at all?
I know that it's been a concern in the past, but
Okay.
we'll serve notices if that's
Yeah, you don't have to knock on everyone's door, but at least let the management company
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah,
they can
absolutely.
distribute that message out.
absolutely.
So, you know, some of the people, they may decide they don't want to be around that day or something. But other than that, it's been a well-attended event.
Tradition
Oh, yeah.
It's a tradition for 6 years, and we're looking forward to kind of continuing after missing last year.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of slack for not going off last year.
Yeah, you're going to be doubling up this year.
Well, it's good. It's going to be a good night. So, thank you.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 6 is authorizing the use of the Main Street Park for the Community Fund celebration and a 3-on-3 basketball tournament on September 30th from noon to 5. And we have some great representatives here tonight from the Community Fund. Familiar face here.
Yes, hello, Mayor Eklund, trustees. My name's Dave Scalzo, 70 Fisher, resident of Tuckahoe for a long time. I'm on the executive board of the Community Fund. I'm here with Amy Korb, who is our executive director. We're celebrating the 99th year of the Community Fund. It's been around a long time, helping the residents of Bronxville, Eastchester, and Tuckahoe. We basically raise money and say thank you to all the great people who make our community a special place. And within, just Tuckahoe alone, we give a lot of money to Tuckahoe. We give money directly to the Tuckahoe Library. We give money to ECAP. We give money to the officers for the DARE program. We give money to Andrus in this building for the Head Start program. We help to pay for that entire program. We help fund the Tuckahoe trolley. The evac ambulance is purchased every 3 years. A new ambulance is purchased through the funds that we raise through the community fund. And of course, the Main Street basketball courts were subsidized significantly by a grant from the community fund, which we're very, very proud of. And so nothing brings, me personally and all of us, quite honestly, more joy than seeing them being used like they are right now. And this wonderful weather, seeing everyone out there playing, and it does our heart great good to see someone like Max and their entire team organizing a celebration of those courts and really raising community awareness. And so we want to add to that celebration, quite honestly. And so on September 30th, what we want to do is have a little one afternoon 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We would specifically focus on 8th graders, though. We think it's a great time. A lot of kids play basketball in 8th grade before high school. You know, some drop out and decide it's not the sport for them. And so we want to have both a boys division and a girls division. We want to invite teams from, of course, Bronxville and St. Joe's and Chapel and ICS and Tuckahoe and Eastchester and IHM, and basically open it up to all the residents of Bronxville, Eastchester, and Tuckahoe to come to the courts, see how wonderful they are, play there, enjoy them, and hopefully that means they can keep coming back over and over and over again and really make use of a wonderful facility that the Village of Tuckahoe provides.
That's one. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
It's an excellent idea.
Thank you very much.
And I'd just like to thank all of your generous donors, wonderful folks contributing to that fund.
Yeah, we have, you know, from the entire town of Eastchester, Bronxville, Tuckahoe, we have over 700 donors every year, you know, that give to the community fund. Our average check size is about $700. So there's quite a few people who really support what we do. And as I said, we are somewhat of a clearinghouse to give money to the people that actually pour their heart out into giving and making this place special, whether it's the ECAP or the library or the Volunteer Ambulance Corps. There's just so many great people doing great things, and we're just happy to contribute.
You know, our deputy mayor, Tom Giordano, couldn't be here tonight, but he says all the time, so I'll say it since he's not here tonight. It's so important that people do contribute to the community fund because they are giving back to these 3 municipalities. You're not giving back to some group in California or Connecticut. It's here. It's, you know, your contribution affects the Main Street Park, the DARE program, that trolley that you got to ride on. It stays right here. It's local. So, you know, we're thrilled that you guys are doing this. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
And congratulations for your new position. Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely. Mhm.
You need a motion, you didn't know.
Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, sorry about that. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. All right, lost. Okay. Resolution number 7 is authorizing the use of the Main Street Park basketball courts for an ECAP sponsored tournament, as we heard on August 11th and 12th. And we heard that presentation before. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 8 is authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement with the Community Fund of Bronxville, Eastchester, Tuckahoe for a grant in the amount of $10,500 for the Tuckahoe Police Youth Program, $7,300, and the DARE program, $3,200. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee
you again.
Luisi.
In favor.
Andino.
Money. In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor.
I'm always in favor of money,
Oh,
just
yeah.
so you know.
We're always taking money,
Always.
that's for sure. Resolution number 9 is authorizing the deactivation and removal of the traffic signal at the intersection of Fisher Avenue and Marbledale Road, and replace the signal with the installation of stop signs all way. The signal will remain 4-way red flash for a minimum of 90 days prior to the consideration of the permanent removal of the signal. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
So this is actually right at the corner of where I live, and it was when the chief first brought it up, I was a little skeptical, but you know what? It's definitely above my pay grade, you know. I know that I know a lot more about the scaffolding business than the chief does, so I'm not going to believe that I know anything more about whether a signal should be there or not. And having a conversation with the chief, I do believe that he's spot on. This is something we should try out. And we had a resident today who actually wanted to hear if we had done any kind of an analysis. And in essence, this is going to be the analysis and the test period. So we're going to give this a try. It's a good opportunity for us to start it in the summer. We'll kind of see how it goes. this time period brings us into the fall when the traffic picks up. You've got school bus traffic. We'll kind of see how that goes because I know there's a school bus stop there. And we'll see. Well, it's funny. When this first came up, now I started paying attention. And I've noticed, believe it or not, in other communities are actually starting to take down traffic signals. So I was like, all right, maybe there is a reason for that. Maybe traffic patterns are different today. So, Larry, did you want to add to this at all? Or? Okay, sure.
Just to give a brief update to anybody watching at home. So we installed the traffic study signs, which have to be up for 30 days to let the public know. Once you approve this resolution tonight, we're going to initiate the study, and it's going to be for 90 days. So as you stated before, Mayor, the traffic signal will be on flash red, and then we'll install the stop signs. So it's going to be police monitored. We're going to be watching the stop sign. We're going to be seeing how the traffic flows. The chief's hope is to alleviate the stacking of cars at the intersections in all 4 sections that way. So we welcome the feedback from the residents. This is not a permanent thing. Until we decide the outcome of it, we're going to listen to the residents' concerns. Any concerns you have, please contact us. And again, the police will be out there monitoring the situation, seeing how traffic flows in all hours of the day, during rush hour, during school bus time in September. So we're open to all suggestions from the public. And again, we hope this works out, and it's for the benefit of the village to see if this will be a good idea. So this is not a rash decision, and we hope that any residents who have concern voice their opinion regarding the matter.
When would that start date be? 30 days, you said, from when those yellow signs went out?
No, the yellow signs have to be up for a minimum of 30 days, but we could potentially, the chief was thinking, start it within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
We did some work last week mounting the breakaway posts, so we're ready to go during that. Once we get the go-ahead, we'll put it on the schedule. So we'd like to start it earlier in the summer. As you said, the traffic flow is a little lighter, and then monitor it as it progresses into the fall.
And there'll be there'll be stop signs at every at the intersection
Exactly,
at all 4
ways around,
sides.
and the traffic signal will be on flash red.
And if this works, does the signal go away? Like, would we remove the signal? And
Yeah,
just
after
keep
the
stop
90-day
signs up?
period, and we have all the input, we have an initial study of the car count. So the chief has gathered that information. After the 90-day period, and it's up to the decision of what our outcome is regarding what we see, then at that point the traffic signal will be removed
Okay.
if we decide to do that. So it'll most likely be taken down by DPW, and
Right.
there won't be no costs outside of the project.
Okay. All right. Well, there've been some changes, significant changes in that intersection with the bump out that we put in some years ago. That really made a big change. And so I'm there half a dozen times a day, of course. And yeah, there is a little bit of traffic stacking up. So especially coming down Fisher Avenue, there's quite a bit of traffic. So, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how this works.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, then we just keep it as is. So
And that's the whole point of the study,
Yeah.
Mayor.
thank you.
Any questions I can answer? Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, David Burke. No, we're having a community meeting. We have them in the summer. We're having one in August, and we're going to hold it actually in the Fisher Avenue Park.
Great.
So that's it. That's ground zero of where that issue is. So we'll hear from, I'm sure, from both sides of the coin on this. So make sure you come down.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor?
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 10 is authorizing the mayor to execute an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Eastchester, Village of Bronxville, and Tuckahoe and Eastchester Union Free School Districts for street resurfacing. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And this is probably the biggest consolidated service that we do each year. So people are always asking, does the village do any consolidated shared services with other municipalities? And I would say this, to me, always sticks out as the biggest one.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor?
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 11 is authorizing the mayor to sign a letter of support for a joint Westchester County and Bronx Bureau of Planning grant to the New York State Local Watershed Revitalization Program to update the existing Bronx River Intermunicipal Watershed Management Plan. That's a mouthful. It's all about them getting a grant. So, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 12 is authorizing a modification to the benefits of the Chief of Police. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 13 is authorizing the cancellation of the August 13th Village Board of Trustees meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved. We should
Second.
all be so
Yeah, I was
moving.
gonna say, it's like we're getting a day out of school,
In
huh?
unison.
Oh, boy.
Any
Second.
on
I'll
that?
second.
Come on, seconds, thirds, fourths.
Trustee Luisi.
I'll be in favor of that.
I want to be here.
In favor. Danny will be here, though.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 14 is authorizing the modification of the November Board of Trustees meetings from Monday, November 5 to Wednesday, November 7th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor of the mayor keeping his perfect attendance
Yeah,
record.
I've been on this board since January 2004, and I have never missed a board meeting.
Wow.
So, well, I don't need
happens to
applause,
support
lovely,
that.
thank you, but.
All about the mayor.
But this particular evening, I just can't be at a village board meeting, so I said, asked David, I said, can we change it? He said, heck, you're the mayor, you can do whatever you want. So we're gonna meet on a Wednesday, so.
All
Sorry.
right, Cal Ripken.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor, thank you. Resolution number 15 is approving vouchers in the amount of $587,170, and let's not forget the 17 cents. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Money lady.
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And that brings us to our discussion portion of the agenda. And anybody have anything they want to talk about?
Well, actually, I'd like to propose Resolution 16, if I may.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you did say that. Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
To change the previously approved Oak Avenue block party from 8/25 to 8/18, please.
Okay, so that's going to be a change of date. Do we have a motion on that?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Andino.
In favor.
Trustee Lang.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And that so is a great block party. Okay. Discussion items. I think we're going to, Danny, do you want to talk a little bit about the one-way street? Because we talked about it last month.
Yeah, so we on Oak Avenue approached the chief about we have an excessive amount of cars coming through Oak Avenue, ultimately trying to get to Bronxville, and we have about 24 little kids, probably under the age of 13, on the block, and there's been numerous instances where it's just too many close calls. So we took it up with the chief to possibly look into some speed bumps, and the chief thought that perhaps a better idea would be to turn the direction on Oak Avenue to go the other way. So you would have to access Oak Avenue, making a right off of Sagamore down to Cottage to access Oak Avenue. So it's just something that we're talking about, and perhaps we can get it done.
Yeah, I think so. So people can have a visual. So if you were going up Sagamore Road, heading towards Bronxville, you would come to Cottage Place, which is actually kind of a steep hill, and you would then make a right onto Cottage Place. Right now, Cottage Place is one way against you. So now it would be one way going west, correct? So you would make a right onto Cottage Place, and at the end of Cottage Place, you have no choice, but you're on Oak Avenue, and then you would make a right onto Oak Avenue, and you would then be on Oak Avenue coming towards the Tuckahoe train station. And that you would take till you get to right about where the entrance is for that Oak Avenue parking lot, and at that point, the road is two ways, and you could continue to go up towards, well, I'm not sure if he's gonna have it two ways right up to where the General Pope Foundation is.
I believe so.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we have to look at that, but I know then, if you're on Oak Avenue heading towards the train station, you can make then a right onto, what did we determine was an odd name of the street? It was Oak Terrace, okay.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be just the one way. There will not be two ways.
Right,
coming
okay.
from- yeah.
So, so interesting. It's, it sort of forces people who live on Oak Avenue, then they would not be able to go past Starbucks and get down Oak Avenue because it would be one way against them. So they would have to go up Sagamore, down Cottage, and then come in to get to their house. So, I don't know if the parking, Larry, do you think the parking would stay on the side? There's parking only on one side of the street now. Do you think the parking would stay on the same side of the street?
Mayor, I haven't spoken to the chief about it, but based on the width of the road there and the meters on both sides, it would be quite difficult to have it a two-way. I'm just thinking about
No,
it.
I mean, I'm thinking right now, if you're on Oak Avenue and you're towards the end by Cottage, if you're heading southbound on
Yes.
Oak Avenue now, there is parking only on the left-hand side, my grandmother's side of the house, where my grandmother used to live. So, do you think parking would remain on that side of the street? It probably would, I would
think so,
imagine.
yes.
Just turn the cars around, obviously, turn the signs around, so, okay. All right, so, it's been done before in other areas, so we'll talk to the chief more about it.
Yeah, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Larry. All right, so we're going to bring up our departmental reports to the board. We always start with the chief of police, but we have better tonight. We have Lieutenant Larry Rhoda.
Just have a few things to report tonight, Mayor and Village Board. First off, the firework event went over very well. It was well attended. We were out in full force to protect the residents and the attendees. It was a great night had by all, and we had no issues police-wise. Everyone acted appropriately. There was no safety concerns. There was no issues at all. So it was a great event. Secondly, I'd like to thank the Community Fund for their great donation to the police department for DARE and the Police Explorers and the community outreach programs. It's a great asset to have that, and we use that money extremely well to give back to the community and have great programs specifically for the Explorers and DARE. And our officers enjoy it very much, and it's a great way to interact with the youth of the community. So far, it's been a quiet summer, and we hope to keep it that way. We have the bicycle patrol out. We're monitoring the parks. The motorcycles go out as well. So hopefully everyone's out there enjoying their summer, having a safe summer.
Safe summer, quiet summer. That's what we like to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for keeping us safe. Appreciate that. Frank is not here tonight. Bill, you got nothing to say? Come on, we don't get to see you too often. Come on up. Let people see your face. This is Bill Williams is our building inspector. Things are looking good in the village. A couple of big projects are still underway.
All right, Mayor, they're
Yeah.
moving along. 100 Main Street is coming very close to a close. The hotel's progressing. And we have some new developers looking to do some developing in the village close to the Main Street area.
Okay. Other than that, I mean, people still pulling permits for putting a deck on their house or renovations. I mean,
Yeah, the building department's
it's
very
busy. Okay. All right, good.
Any questions?
I got a question.
I do. I have a question. What restaurant are we going to get? Do we know?
Oh, for the hotel? No, they
We
keep
have
that
an
close to their
application
chest.
for the restaurant,
Yeah.
but we don't know who the operator is yet. Mr.
Yeah.
Weinberg hasn't let that cat out of the bag.
And we're going to try to get another meeting with him. So I asked him that first. One of the first questions I asked him.
Tell him
every
the
time I
village
sit down.
residents like steak.
Yeah. I tell him that every time I see him. So, good. Well, thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Appreciate it. Camille, anything from the clerk's office? Okay. Gary, anything hot on the legal front?
No, just, there's no planning board meeting this month, and no zoning or planning next month, so the next time those boards will meet will be in September, and I know the agenda's building up for that month,
Okay.
so.
All right, good. David, anything?
The fireworks obviously were this past weekend. I spoke to John Gluzzi. He's not here tonight. He's probably in bed. He did a fantastic job. Thanks to John for all his hard work, the police department and DPW. Obviously another successful, safe, fantastic event. So thank you to everyone involved in that. The Tuckahoe Road Race Challenge is Sunday, September 9th. We don't have a next board meeting, and John Gluzzi asked me to mention that. You can actually sign up right on our village website, right on the homepage there. You'll see it. You can pop up. You can do it electronically now, so that's really great. And Padre Pio, he asked me to mention that. That is September 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I know that they are working on the music fest, the big Saturday night festival. I didn't get anything from them though, so I don't know what's really going on with that. In the agenda, it mentioned the IMA for the street resurfacing. We are finalizing roads, and it looks like probably end of August, early September for the paper to come in here and do some of those roads. That does not necessarily include Midland Avenue, Winter Hill, Folling, Henry, which Con Ed is currently ripping up right now, and we hope that project is actually moving along. It's moving along, probably not fast enough for the residents, but it's going along pretty well. So that's going to be for the next probably 6 weeks up there. So we hope to have all that paved continuously. So that'll be coming up pretty soon. And then speaking of these great events at the Main Street Park, all these tournaments, have to say thanks to Frank. He really took that grant. Really, he did a great job of the basketball court, the pricing, the vendors, the hoops, everything else. So he's very proud of that park, as well as he should be. So thanks to Frank.
Yeah, they've done a great job. They really have. And for those of our residents who are away for the summer, because I say all the time, you can go bowling down Main Street in the summer here. It seems like everyone's elsewhere, but when they come back in the fall, I'm pretty optimistic that they're not going to see a bridge over the Metro North Railroad track. I know David's rolling his eyes like I shouldn't have brought it up, but yeah, we're pretty much, I would, well, for sure by the end of this week, there will be nothing preventing us from taking that bridge down. So, finally. All right, that's going to bring us to miscellaneous business, and this coming weekend, no, I'm sorry, on Thursday, July 19th, this is the Westchester County Mobile Passport Office. It's going to be in Depot Square. I got my passport renewed in this van one year, so it's very worthwhile to come. It's on Thursday, July 19th, from 11 in the morning to 2 o'clock, so that's this Thursday. People should definitely take advantage of that. The Shredder, that's what I was thinking of, the Shredder is coming to the Lake Avenue parking lot. That's going to be this Saturday. That's the Lake Avenue parking lot where Growlers is. So go on down there from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop in at Growlers, I guess, and have lunch after you shred your box of papers. That's this Saturday, July 21. And also this Saturday and the 21st in Depot Square, the Eastchester, or I like to say the Tuckahoe Eastchester Chamber of Commerce, is having their first annual, what they're calling Summerfest. And this is going to be an event held from 11 in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's going to be in Depot Square. We have half the square closed off for traffic. And what they're doing is they're going to be having all different businesses in Tuckahoe and Eastchester. They're going to have booths there. They're going to have entertainment there. I hear there's a dunk tank. I hear the mayor, if it's really hot, maybe get, for anything to support the chamber. Maybe the mayor, you can toss a ball and dunk them. We'll see. But it's going to be a great event. They put a lot of work into this, so I urge everyone to come on down. And as I mentioned earlier, we will have our residents' community meeting. We call them town hall meetings. And that's going to be August 22nd. And we are going to have that in the Fisher Avenue Park, which is at the corner of Fisher Avenue and Marbledale Road. And that's going to be on August 22nd at 7 o'clock at night. And that's going to bring us to our Board of Trustees member reports. And this month we are going to start with the gentleman to my right, Greg Luisi, Trustee Luisi.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to start off by saying, yes, it was a great event. Do we happen to have any numbers by any chance, Lieutenant, in terms of the crowd?
Based on the size, it was one of the best events I've seen turn out.
Yeah, it seems like every year it's getting bigger and bigger. There was a wonderful turnout of vendors this year as well.
So we had some new vendors there, and then towards the end, the people really packed in. And then surprisingly, it all cleared out in a great fashion.
Yep, it does. It does.
Worked out very well.
Congratulations to everyone. Hats off to John Galuzzi, as you said, David, and it really was a wonderful event. So I will now begin with my report, and I'm going to begin with the History Committee. And this is quite an interesting report that I received from them. The remains of the USS Juneau. a heavy cruiser that went down in the South Pacific during the Battle of Guadalcanal during World War II, was found on St. Patrick's Day, March 17, 2018. The ship was famous for the loss of the 5 Sullivan brothers, but closer to home, Edward Heisinger, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, forgive me if I'm not, who was a seaman first class from Upper Tuckahoe, now known as Eastchester, also lost his life on the Juno. He learned boxing through the Police Athletic League right here in the basement of what is now Village Hall. He was also a 3-time light heavyweight boxing champion. There's also a news article about Trustee Emma Berwick. And a little known tidbit about Trustee Emma Berwick, she was the first woman elected in Tuckahoe, as well as the first in New York to serve in the office of trustee here in Tuckahoe. And lastly, I hope not to steal your thunder, Mayor, but that interview that took place on June 18th, conducted by Tom Doherty of the 5 living mayors here in Tuckahoe, was just a joy to listen to the interview and everyone speaking about their recollections on being residents and part of the village administration. It really was wonderful. And lastly, the History Committee, of course. I cannot say enough about the great work they do here in preserving the history of Tuckahoe. They meet here every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And now I'm going to move on to our wonderful Tuckahoe seniors. Excuse me. Tomorrow, State Senator Shelley Mayer will be paying a visit, as well as the Assistant Attorney General for Westchester County, Gary Brown, and they will be speaking to the seniors about scam prevention. The seniors, of course, and as I say this every month, they know where to eat, they know where the good food is. So this Thursday, they will be having lunch at the Lobster Box on City Island, and then they will close out the summer on Tuesday, July 31st, with a potluck dinner. The community, the senior center will be closed for the entire month of October, but will reopen on September 4th. That's all I have, Mayor.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Trustee Andino.
Okay, so first I'd just like to thank everyone for sending condolences. For those of you who don't know, my father passed away on Father's Day. And I just really was overwhelmed by the amount of cards, calls, text messages, Facebook messages, flowers, edible arrangements. I mean, I really was moved by the condolences and the support that I got from people that I know and people that I didn't know. So I thank you for that. The library has kicked off its summer reading program on June 25th. So if you go on the website, there are just too many things to name. They have things for people of all ages, infants, all the way up to some of us who are a little older. So look on the website and see what's going on. They do have on tomorrow hula hoops, for those of you who remember what those things are, when we got out and played and didn't have our head in a computer or a tablet. So for ages 5 to 11, they have hula hoops tomorrow, 4 o'clock. They have the Kiva Plank Challenge for the young architects and engineers who will use scientific process to complete building challenges using planks, gravity, and stability. So if you have any young engineers and architects, have them come out on Thursday, July 19th at 4 for ages 5 to 11. For those of you who have children with their stuffed animal friends, the library is hosting a stuffed animal sleepover. They can drop off their stuffed animals and pick them up on Friday night. They drop them off at 4. They can pick them up on Saturday, and they'll enjoy cookies and a slideshow of what their stuffed animals did on their adventure. The things we do to entertain ourselves. We also have painting in acrylics for teens on Monday, July 23rd, 3:30 to 5:30 for those teens who like acrylic painting. And let's see. And your very own Trustee Andino, myself. I'll be doing Puerto Rican quesadillas on August 1st. Come out. You will not regret it. At 6:30. I know the mayor's writing this down right now. He's going to be there. So if you could come out and support the library. They have a lot of programs for the youth, and they have a lot to offer. I also want to let you guys know about the teen club that's being started at the ECAP. This apparently has been a goal and a dream of lovely Billups, who's with us today, that she wanted a teen club, a cultural enrichment club for the teens in Tuckahoe, ages 13 to 17. And the first trip that they're going to be taking is on August 22nd to see The Lion King. They'll also go down. Many of our teens have not taken the train down into Grand Central, so we're going to be taking 15 students, participants down to see Grand Central. They're going to go to Bryant Park. And lovely, you're free to come up and help me if you'd like. They're going to, the public library, New York Public Library. So her goal and our goal at the ECAP is to just provide them with opportunities to be exposed to museums and different sites, not just in the local area, but to see other things that they may not have otherwise been exposed to. So those teens will be going to see the Lion Club, the Lion King. It will be done by lottery. So we're encouraging youth 13 to 17 years old to put their names in. We will have a date, which I don't think we have set yet, for the lottery to be drawn. And at that time, we will be teaching the kids about Grand Central, its history, talk about Bryant Park. So this is a really great program that we're going to get started there. Anything I missed? Oh, no lottery? Okay, sorry. So it's not a lottery. Okay, so they have to be a part of the teen club in order to participate in the activities. Okay, and the only other thing that I'd like to just reiterate is that I encourage residents to attend these meetings. I do get text messages and emails a lot from people asking me questions and voicing their concerns about things, and I think it's a good idea for you to come out and come and talk to us in person about what your concerns are, ideas, things that you'd like to get started. I think it's important for us to do that if you want for things to happen. And that's it for me.
Thank you. That's going to be a great day for those kids.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
really
my
gonna be a
gosh. The
fantastic
Lion
day.
King.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
And okay, yes. And so, thank you. I did have that down and I forgot. So right now what we are asking is for people to sponsor a participant. We have 15 students and the cost is going to be about $200 per student or per participant. That includes the ticket to see the Lion King, the fare for the train.
You'll need to
and,
to the internet first.
Oh, sorry. and their meal voucher, so to speak. So if anybody is interested, contact the ECAP, and you can also contact me. You can email me.
Wonderful. Thank you. Trustee Danny Lang.
Yes, I'd like to, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to take this time to congratulate the class of 2018. I had the honor of attending this beautiful, thoughtful, and often comical ceremony. The admiration, appreciation, and gratitude this graduating class expressed towards their teachers, administrators, and aides was an absolute delight to see. The board would like to congratulate Jessica Berger, our valedictorian, and Vito Marcoci, our salutatorian, two special young people that will go on to do great things. Not to mention with fellow classmates, they were awarded over $5 million in grants and scholarships. Pretty incredible, right? Not bad for a class of just about 70 students.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. The graduates that spoke kept the crowd laughing, and then the music teacher began to sing, and I couldn't believe my ears. It was a true honor to join you on your special day, And thank you for the invite. Congratulations, class of 2018.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was terrific. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. I don't have much to talk about, but Trustee Luisi actually touched on it. For a lot of years, occasionally I would see our videographer would put this interview that former trustee Tuckahoe Tom Doherty had hosted back in 1991, so it was 27 years ago. And it was of the mayors of the time. Sonny Dalton was the mayor, and Mayor Bob D'Agostino, Joe Fataruso, Phil White was on the panel. And so it always fascinated me watching that, you know, listening to them talk about Tuckahoe history. Sonny Dalton was talking about things from the 1940s and 50s, and so they talked about urban renewal and all the different things. And I said, you know, I really need to make sure that I get that done now, you know, and I wish I'd actually done it a few years ago when Joe Fataruso was still alive. So, but I said, there's no time like the present. So Phil White was instrumental in helping us get all the mayors together. Certainly Bob D'Agostino. So we actually had it. You can watch it on, if you get our local cable channel, or you can see it on YouTube. So we held it again. We reached out to Tom Doherty, lives in New Jersey. He came up here, and it was really it was a lot of fun, I have to say. So he stood over there in the same position he did 27 years ago, asked a lot of the same questions. Interesting how a lot of the answers were kind of the same. We had it was a really fun night. We had Bob D'Agostino was our senior mayor, who was here. Phil White, who we all know and love, our historian, he was here. Mike Martino was here. John Fitzpatrick, Mayor Fitz, and myself. So it was a great night. If anybody gets a chance, you want to kill an hour or so, or just listen to it in the background if you want on your computer at work. It's kind of interesting. So I enjoyed it anyway, personally. The only other thing I wanted to, well, I do want to talk about our fireworks show. It was fantastic. I was so pleased. I was able to bring my in-laws with me. My in-laws are old Tuckahoe people, and they hadn't seen fireworks since the 60s. So when my father-in-law and mother-in-law came here, I asked them when the show was over, and they were like, wow. You know, they live in Connecticut, and they have a fireworks show there. And my mother-in-law said it after it was over. She said, you know, you just don't get to go to a fireworks show where you're so close to where they're shooting them off. And I didn't really, I guess I took it for granted, because the only show I go to is the one that we have. And boy, it's really true. I mean, it is a spectacular, spectacular show. And, you know, one of the things every year I get down on the field during the day while they're setting it up, they start setting up, Grucci starts setting up early in the morning. So I meet Charlie down there. He's the guy who sets it up every year. He's in charge of it. And he tells me this every year, that there's kind of a lottery amongst all the employees that they have to see who gets to do the Tuckahoe show. He said the people want to do the Tuckahoe show more than they want to do the Macy's show, or more than the show in Dubai. And I said, why? And he said, because this is where it's at. He said, you have a couple of thousand people, you're 100 feet away from where we're shooting it off. He said, we get to see, you know, we get to stand right here with these people who are truly enjoying the program. So it is, you know, if anybody missed it, it's something you got to see. I don't know where we'd put anybody else, because it's so crowded down there. But it is truly a fantastic event. So, and, you know, our police lieutenant is absolutely right. You know what? It happened without any issues at all, and that's pretty good. I mean, not a twisted ankle, there was one kid who was lost for just a couple of minutes, I think, but that's, you know, not really lost, just slightly misplaced for a second. And but other than that, I mean, you know, there's no anger. It was just a great community event. So it's really what Tuckahoe is about. So I think that's fantastic. And I'm just going to wrap up. I just want people to know that a couple of weeks ago, I had a meeting with our brand new state senator, Shelley Meyer, and I know that she's going to be meeting with the seniors tomorrow. So she sat down with myself and David Burke. She pledged to do anything she can for our community. So we're going to try to see if there's any little projects, or maybe any money that we can take from her to go ahead and apply towards any issues that any of our needs in our community. And so with that, I'm going to move to the second opportunity to address the board on anything at all. think we pretty much talked everybody out tonight, so. So we're going to adjourn, and I want everyone to have a wonderful summer. We'll see you in September. That's a great song. And with there being no other business tonight, I will make a motion to adjourn this meeting. And do I have a second for that?
I second that.
Okay. This meeting is adjourned. Till next time, Tuckahoe, have a very good evening.
Take care. Good night.